live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Great to have you with us. It is Tuesday, October 31st. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm Brian Schnee. Going in depth tonight on a couple things that pertain to your wallet. We're looking at interest rates. We're also looking at emergency savings, how people are doing right now, or rather what they're not doing, and perhaps what you can do to pad the wallet a little bit. As we go in depth tonight, you can always get in touch with us during the show. Use the hashtag 2NewsLive. Join our conversation that way. You can always join me on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. You can send me a direct message, any of those places, to weigh in. We would appreciate it if you do. Also, send us your pictures, please. I want to see what those Halloween costumes look like. I'm over here waiting. I was hoping you would just take it, because I'm going to sit here and eat this piece of candy that Trent had. He had it all ready to go here over in the Weather Center. I'm going to sit here and have a Kit Kat. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on our program. I want to be educated on Peter Sinks.
Yeah,
it's one of my most intriguing things about the state of Utah.
One of those things that us weather people like to dork out about.
Yeah.
And for other people, they seem to not care as much. But no, it's been cold recently, and it doesn't get much colder than this. Actually, it really doesn't, because we've had the coldest temperature in the lower 48 for the last 3 days, Brian, up at Peter Sinks. So this morning, 13 below, yesterday 25 below, and on Sunday, 30 below.
Sounds like perfect temps for a 2 News camp out. What do we say?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Need
about
a Kit
that
Kat
one.
for your forecast?
I'll take one, yeah.
There we go.
Ahead,
all right,
yeah.
cool. It is Halloween
Some
after all.
chocolate-covered candy. Let's get to that forecast, and I'll show you what we're looking at today. So, if you're wondering where Peter Sinks is, not a lot of people do know about it, but here's the state of Utah. If we zoom in right now up towards Logan Canyon, this is where it's going to be, just south of that highway there, a little circled area. It's about 8,200 feet up in elevation. It's a bowl-like shape, so we get that nighttime radiative cooling, and all the cold air just kind of funnels down to the center of it, and that's where we're recording those super cold temperatures. The month of October has been stellar as far as water goes. Last year, not even getting an inch, but this year, much closer to 2 inches of water just in the month of October alone. The end of month normal is 1.25 inches, and that'll be tomorrow. So we're going to start this whole thing over again, and it looks like right now the first couple of days of November are going to be pretty dry. Current temperatures across the map right now: 74 in San Francisco, 80 in Phoenix, and look at Miami, 87. They're probably trick-or-treating in their bathing suits down there. 51 in Denver, 34 in Omaha, so a whole ton of cold air here across the central portion of the country, and we're kind of just on the backside of that, getting that cold northerly flow. Temperatures right now here across the state: 66 in St. George, 50s here across the Wasatch Front, a little cooler down in Provo. But if you're headed out over the next hour, half an hour, things are going to start to cool off, especially as that sun goes down. Park City looking to be in the 30s. Lots of 40s here across the map, 51 in Cedar City, and looking at those mid-60s down in St. George. So this is what we're watching for, some return of the active weather potentially by this weekend. We're watching this ridge of high pressure. It's going to try to move in, but really it kind of just retrogrades and then moves back in to the area. So Thursday afternoon looking like potentially going to be the warmest of the next 7. And then we really start to open up this westerly flow. We get a couple of these squiggles moving in here by the weekend, and that's going to increase our chances for some precipitation as well as moderate those temperatures, keeping them right around where they should be for this time of year. And then look what this does. We've got a big storm out here across the Gulf of Alaska and the Pacific, but what we get is a portion of the jet stream that starts to split, and what that does is it creates a lot of lift in the atmosphere, that divergence aloft. And our precipitation chances go from practically non-existent both tomorrow and Thursday to something substantial by the time we get to Sunday. So it might be a pretty wet weekend, but right now it doesn't look like it's going to impact the game on Saturday up there at the U campus. We're going to be looking at those temperatures in the low 50s for the tailgate, 60s by the time the game gets going, and we're going to be watching this one pretty closely because we could get a couple sprinkles mixing in here and there. St. George, 68 tomorrow, up to 70s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And don't forget to roll those clocks back there Saturday night into Sunday morning. You might just get an extra hour of sleep. In Salt Lake City, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 50s tomorrow, 62 on Thursday, and then the clouds really build in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Chances of rain start to go up, and those temperatures dropping just a little bit. And Brian, we're pretty close to opening day, aren't we, at Brian Head, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here we are.
And
top
people
of mind.
are wondering how they're going to make snow under these conditions, and I would call these marginal snowmaking conditions because we've got the overnight temperatures down into the teens, but in the days they're getting up into the 50s. So we'll have to watch and wait and see if they can actually get a couple of those ski runs open by next week.
And a couple, obviously, in the Cottonwoods been putting out some snow. So I know they're trying any opportunity they get to get a sliver of a base up there.
Exactly,
right now.
yeah. And hopefully these storms this week can bring something up to the higher elevations to get that snow even a little bit deeper.
And again, before we go, Saturday's football forecast is kind of
hanging in the balance. Yeah, it looks like mostly cloudy conditions right now, but things could change over the next couple of days.
I'm sure Utes fans got a little sour taste in their mouths.
Yeah.
A little
it's definitely going to be warmer than
over
last
those
weekend.
Ducks. Yeah, that's not a good one. All right. Thank you, Trent. Remember to download our 2 News weather app to know about your changes in your neighborhood. You can get updated forecasts, live radar right on your phone. The app is free to download. Oh, I guess we got to talk about it. We've talked about it in every other show here this afternoon. It's Halloween. There's a neighborhood in Utah that does stand out. It's been really nationwide. Barbie Land in Daybreak. Amanda Gilbert first gave us a tour earlier this month. She is back there tonight for those Halloween festivities. You've got a good crowd behind you there, Amanda. It's about getting going here with prime trick-or-treating time.
Yeah, the music is turning on, the crowd is coming out. Now, I want to show you, this is really neat about Barbie Land. I have never seen so much pink on Halloween. Look at some of the candy they're handing out. Very much on theme. But we're going to walk around, kind of show you as the crowd picks up. I'm told actually since I was out here a few weeks ago, more homes have gotten involved. It's now closer to around 20 compared to 18. They are, of course, having so much fun out here. We're walking by Haunted Barbie, Disco Barbie is handing out kind of disco lollipops. A lot of different outfits. Oh, we got another Barbie. Hi. Who are you dressed up as?
Cowgirl Barbie.
Cowgirl Barbie, I love it. What's your favorite house you've seen so far?
The Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Yeah, that's a classic. Hi, guys. We got a dinosaur back here. Hi.
Are you the news?
Yeah. Who are you dressed up as? You're just having fun, getting candy. There you go. So you got everyone out here. We'll walk around this way a little bit. The crowd is really starting to pick up. So I'm told in order to kind of keep people safe, they're really just asking people to walk and park elsewhere. There's a lot of no parking signs up around here, a lot of caution tape. Just try to keep this to foot traffic only. So let's walk this way a little bit more, Gabe. This right here is Classic Barbie House. They've been handing out a lot of candy as well. It looks like we've got a few over here. They're actually handing out stickers too, which is pretty neat. But it is so much fun out here. So it's exciting as we see how the sun sets, how many more people come on out. Back to you, Brian.
Reporter Barbie doing great out there. No one's handing out stickers here in the 2 News studio. I'm disappointed. All right, police say on Halloween, children are more than twice as likely to be hit and killed by a car than any other day of the year. So that's why we are asking parents to make a few changes so your trick-or-treaters really are able to stay safe. That includes bringing flashlights, adding reflective material to the costumes and the coats. Kids should always use the sidewalk, never walk in the street, and make sure, of course, that the fundamentals here, look both ways before crossing. Just get back to that. And of course, we want to hear from you at home. How do you plan to supervise your children while trick-or-treating? You can scan that QR code on your screen to weigh in. Most of you are going to say, I'm just going to walk around with them myself. That's what my parents did when I was a kid. And I think it's probably the best way there. You make mom carry the bag of candy or dad carry the bag of candy if you're too tired. There's me and the 21%, too old for trick-or-treating. All right. Federal Reserve will meet tomorrow to talk about whether or not to raise interest rates again. Most believe they won't do anything, but even that has an impact on our wallets right now. Daniel Woodruff knows more about this and joins us live here on 2 News Live to explain. Daniel, what are we anticipating, if any, sort of discussion to take place tomorrow about this?
Yeah, Brian. Well, first of all, I want to say that happy Halloween. We've got some Halloween candy that I'd love to try to, liken to interest rates in some way, but I don't have a good analogy right now. So let's just say this, that the interest rates are not expected to be raised tomorrow when the Federal Reserve meets. It is expected that they'll remain flat. If you remember, they've been being raised over the last year and a half to try to combat inflation, which has been very high. But I talked to a BYU economics professor today, Christian Vom Lane, who told me he believes that the Fed will keep things stagnant, essentially, and that we will see no raise of any kind tomorrow or possibly even in December. And what does that mean? It basically means that the prices we pay to borrow money for a car or for a house or to use our credit card will not go up, which is obviously good for consumers. They have gone up quite a bit in the last little while, but any relief is really welcome. The real question will be if the Fed starts cutting rates at some point in the future.
So how is this impacting people really right now, Daniel? Obviously, we understand it that we're expecting no change, but where are we in the grand scheme of things of where things stand right now in terms of how painful this really is for a lot of folks that are trying to make ends meet?
Well, it is painful. We met a guy today who was looking for a truck at a car lot, and those are expensive. Not only the price, which has gone up a lot, but the price that it costs to take out a loan to buy a vehicle. And so he said, basically, I think his exact quote was, "It's expensive, everything is expensive." So people are really feeling the pinch in many ways, but the BYU economist told me he believes that a lot of the pessimism we hear about the economy is unfounded. He said that the economy has actually been doing quite well, and he thinks that generally, even with the conflicts we're seeing abroad and in other things economically around the world, the U.S. economy, he believes, is moving in a pretty good direction. And he thinks the fact that the Federal Reserve is not expected to raise rates shows that they feel that inflation is coming under control and that things, all told, are fairly positive right now. Now, people will feel differently depending on where they are in their situation in life, but that's generally what he said as somebody that studies the economic picture day in and day out.
Daniel Woodruff joining us live tonight with that big bowl of candy. Daniel, if only that bowl was $100 bills. Oh, the Tootsie Rolls
got a lot of Tootsie Rolls. Yeah, and got some trick-or-treaters here that I'm going to pass out to you right now. How you doing? You want some Tootsie Rolls?
Oh, beautiful.
There you go. Happy Halloween. There's some dots.
Happy Halloween, Daniel. We love it. Thank you.
You too.
So Americans have been falling behind on saving money this year. We're not really talking about saving for a retirement or even that big family vacation. It's the crucial stuff. I mean, it's emergency savings here in case of an emergency. Christina Flores is with us now. When we talk about emergency savings, I mean, that's like going to the hospital. That's the essential.
A rainy day fund.
Yeah.
Right? An unexpected expense that comes your way. And that's when the rainy day fund is helpful, right? You want to have money for a flat tire, or like Brian said, if you go to the hospital suddenly, you don't want to be left without any cash to pay for something like that, rather than put it on your credit card. So there's a recent study by Bankrate that says this year alone, 60% of Americans, actually more than that, say they've fallen behind on their emergency savings, and about a third of the people in this survey said they actually have less money in their emergency fund right now than they did at the start of the year. And a lot of people say it's going to take them a while to catch up and to replenish that emergency fund, because guess why? Inflation.
Oh, of course.
Right? And so everyone's paying more in bills, right? Our utility bills are more, our grocery bills are more. So just all those household expenses that are costing more, that seems to be the main reason, or one of the main reasons, that people can't seem to save for an emergency or a rainy day.
Are there certain recommendations for what type of padding you should be putting away? I mean, everybody's different in their financial situation.
It's different for everyone. And what's hard right now is that normally you would say, let me cut my expenses, right? A lot of people have already cut, and there's no place else to cut. So it's really hard for them to save money right now. But the recommendation is, if you can cut your expenses at all, even if it's a few bucks, save those dollars, put them directly into your savings account. If you have a day when you're making a little more money, then you can start increasing that amount. Or the other option is, you can take on a side hustle. I know a lot of people are already working hard, but if you take on an extra job, at least for a few months, to give yourself a rainy day fund, then that's also an option, right?
Yeah, if you can find a way to mix and match with certain things, or maybe if you're finally catching up on some of your bills, and you've been overpaying, right? Like I try to do that with a mortgage, right? If you're feeling good, you can do a little bit extra each month in that principle, and maybe not, maybe try to push that away elsewhere.
Yeah, just have a little savings on the side, just in case, right? We all have those little moments in our lives when there's an unexpected expense, so you don't want that to catch you by surprise.
Let's shift and talk about a Halloween treat here. Trent, would love to have you here with us too, because this is always the debate, right? I mean, this stuff.
Candy corn.
Do we like this stuff? Can we look at the poll here? Do we have it? Oh man, how do you feel about candy corn? Do you like this quote unquote treat?
I think that's a lie. I don't think 32% of people love candy corn.
I said the
you?
same thing, I think, a few
don't-
weeks ago when,
No.
when someone was, Trent's
doesn't
just
seem
like,
right.
absolutely not.
That doesn't seem right.
No,
I-
it's that candy corn is the one that at the bottom of the bowl when there's nothing else
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
keep walking by. Okay, I'll take a candy
Well, it's
corn.
typically the one that stays on the coffee table for 6 months,
Yeah.
and by the time you're like, oh, I think I'll try one of these, you take a bite out of it, and you're like, oh, this is this is gross.
Yeah, I'll
been there
never,
for
I'll
months.
never buy them, but I'll take a bite if someone's got maybe a couple. But I'm more of a gummy clusters, Dum Dum Pops,
You brought
or
props.
Brian, being from New England, Necco wafers.
Necco wafers. Yeah, I can mix and match with a lot of the good New England treats. I don't think we can find those out here.
Necco wafers.
Scan the QR code here. Maybe reach in right there to your screen and scan it. If you'd like to weigh in on candy corn, if you really think you're going to sway the vote, I'm in the bottom, by the way. Not
Yeah,
really
I
mean,
agree.
I'll have one, but like, just it's not for me.
No, not when you have these other good treats.
So this is how we end. These are the important things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for joining us for 2 News Live. Hope you have a great night. If you're heading out with the kids, please do all the fundamentals, looking both
Yeah, be
ways.
careful,
Bring the
drive carefully,
flashlight.
yeah.
It's not just about the kids. It's about, obviously, if you're going to a party tonight, please be responsible. We work in the world of news, so we talk about a lot of the tough stuff too. So please don't allow us to have to do any more of that tonight.
No.
Enjoy your evening and happy Halloween. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.